You
playing Tony Hawk right now as we speak. Twisted Metal right now as we speak.
Twisted Metal. All right, hey, look at that. We're on air. We're live, and it's awesome. It's Xbox Nation time. It's Wednesday night. Always everybody's favorite time of year, along with I guess holidays or whatever. But we're back, and you know what? It's going to be a good show. I always thank the gaming gods because it seems like more times than not, there's some kind of news that happens on a Wednesday. I don't know what the deal is, but it always lines up really well.
Yeah.
And we actually have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I know stuff that there's going to be to rant about for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Ever since this morning when I found out about this PlayStation Classic or Mini or whatever you want to call it, I've been wanting to go in on it. Yeah. You know,
thank the gods.
Yes.
Kratos, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Kratos. Yes.
Thank you, throwable axe.
Yes, the throwable axe. Yes. Well, you know what? That could save this thing, but I digress. We'll find out here in a minute. Mooch, what's up, my friend?
What is up, buddy? Xbox Nation. You are right, though. We talked about this a while ago, crap, right? News happens to land on Mondays, Wednesdays. It's actually any day but Crossfire Day. So, you know, generally I've got to get real creative on Fridays. No, looking forward to it, but you got a great list of topics. Of course, I read none of them, but the point of the matter is that they're there and you did your job, crap. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Exactly.
Twins.
And we've also got the saltiest guy in gaming. Salty, what's up, my friend? How are you doing? How's it going?
Dude, I woke up this morning and it was like Christmas with this news story. So I'm ready to go in. I got my monster this time, so it's gonna be fun.
Monster? It's another level.
He's got a monster. Yeah,
he got the monster. He got the memes.
He's ready to bust a move out here. You know, he's got the salt ready and he's sprinkling it. He's ready.
Yep.
Exactly. And we got Lady Foxfire. What's up? How you doing?
Hi. What's up? This is the only time to be all nice and sweet.
Oh. That's
because the rest of the show is gonna be savagery.
That's what we like to hear, though. That's what people come out to this show to hear. They're like, I have not had a good Xbox Nation until A, Mooch yells, B, Fox is savage, and C, Salty goes, stay salty. So that's like the three things that have to happen on the show today. So I'm guaranteeing that at least two of those things are going to happen. So you guys stay tuned. It's gonna be great to see this. So thank you guys. Hit that like button early and often. Share it out to YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I really do appreciate that. It helps out. And, you know, YouTube's a little bit slow with getting alerts, so it also helps out with that. So go ahead and do that. You know, I guess we should just dive right in. Huh, Mooch? Should we talk about...
Why wait, buddy?
Yeah, we should talk about this PlayStation Mini or this PlayStation Classic. Now, I want to remind everybody that Xbox has been doing backwards compatibility for a little bit now. Last year, so it wasn't something 3 years ago, Jim Ryan, the head of PlayStation in Europe, said, nobody wants to play old games. Who wants to play that? Nobody wants backwards compatibility, right? So Sony has oftentimes said that, despite the fact that they have a service, PlayStation Now, where they try to rent you old games. I mean, why would you even have that service if nobody wants to play them, right? So that's the first thing you have to look at. The second thing is they're basically busting Microsoft's chops, saying nobody wants to play old games. And the Sony fanboys all said this too, right? Despite the fact that Sony puts out more remasters and remakes than any other company, right? So you have that, and it's starting to look a little weird. And then you have this announcement, $100 for this console. It's a mini. It only has 20 games. They only announced 5. Which is already suspect. The controllers aren't the DualShock controllers. They're the original ones, the real super light, cheap weight ones. So, yeah, that really limits what games you're going to be able to get. Like the later part games probably wouldn't be able to work as well without the DualShock, right? You got to be able to control the analog stick. Otherwise, it's just like a D-pad, and those don't work good for like a lot of the games that were out like in the PS1 era. So, they also cheaped out by not giving you an AC adapter. They give you a USB thing that you plug in if you can plug it into your TV or whatever. But if you actually want to plug that into an AC adapter fitting, it's going to be more. So, you know, this is kind of ridiculous. Sony fanboys are all like, I can't wait to get this. I want to get this. I want to get this. And I'm like, you guys spent years making fun of backwards compatibility, saying nobody wants to play old games. And now you want to buy a console that specifically just plays old games. You know, like That to me is ridiculous. And this is only 20. And if this thing is successful, and probably is, the sad part is I saw people going, I can't wait till Sony comes out with a PS2 Mini.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're already at that point. Like, how about Sony just let you buy these games and you can play them on your PS4? Wouldn't that be something, right? You know, like $2 a piece or something. They're PlayStation 1 games. I looked on eBay and you can find complete PlayStation 1s with 40 games for like $50.
Bundled.
Yeah. So the fact that they're doing this and people are like, yeah, good on Sony. And most of the media, okay, some of the media call them out, but a lot of them's like, Sony's doing this better than Nintendo did it because they're not sold out yet. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it really shows a stark contrast of what these companies go through and how they're looked at by the media. But this was just such a ridiculous thing to say and very hypocritical. Less than like a year later, they said nobody wants old games. And specifically, he's talking about PS1, PS2 versions of like Gran Turismo and stuff, right? He's like, they look terrible. Who wants to play that?
He said they look ancient.
They do.
I was like, oh, shit. Okay.
And here they are, $100, $100. Like, good Lord. And then Microsoft, thankfully, tweets out, hey, you want to play your classics, man? Just play them for free. We got you covered. I thought that was brilliant. And, you know, I know that Nintendo has done this, and nostalgia, which it's a hell of a drug.
It really is.
It is. But the main thing I want to point out also is NES and Super Nintendo games hold up graphically because they're side-scrolling, most of them 16-bit, 8-bit, right? So we get that type of game to this day. Nobody's building these blocky polygon-type games anymore that 32-bit era had, right? And there's a reason why. Because they look horrible, right? So this is just, it baffles me. It's another instance of not only Sony kind of seeing Nintendo doing something and then directly copying it, but it's like them looking very hypocritical and suspect while doing it. Mooch, like, I know you've got to have all kinds of stuff to say about this, man. I've been dying all day, man. I got my ears up, man. I got my, you know, I'm perked up. I'm wanting to listen. What do you got for me, Mooch? Come on.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, and listen, rightfully so. I think everything you said holds water. There isn't even, I went on a little
rant there, huh?
You did, and I'm proud of you because I think you nailed a lot of the main subjects that people are kind of griping about on Twitter. Myself personally, when I read it, and I saw Salt today too. Salt was kind of really kind of ticked off by some of the news, and I don't blame him either. Myself personally, I wasn't as taken back. I was more taken back on a different level. I think you guys nailed the situation where you have the Jim Ryan's quote, right? With no, and then you had the Sony fan base that was like, old games don't matter. And then they're excited to play old games, and they're excited to pay $100 for it without an adapter.
Yeah.
That is all baffling. And you said that already. My issue, when I saw it, I said, okay, let me take a look at this. And then crap, if you have the list there, I don't have the list in front of me, but I saw the 5 games. The 5 games out of the 20 they announced, the 5 games, they didn't look very appealing to me. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, why do I want to spend this $100? And guys in the chat that are Sony fans, you got to understand, like, I don't think that I think you guys are just defending it because it's Sony. And you know, a lot of people on Twitter today,
Final Fantasy 7, Tekken 3, R4 Ridge Racer Type 4.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that's one thing. Apparently, Jumping Flash and Wild Arms. So yeah, I haven't even heard of some of these games.
Nothing you just said really makes me want to spend $100, especially to look at graphics from that era. And I mean that's a me problem, right? That's a me problem. But realistically, I don't see how this is something that like the Sony fans really want when they said that they didn't want older games. Here's the thing. Here's where we're at right now. People kept on saying to me, you know, Mooch, if this was an Xbox OG, and I'll go on record, folks, and unless it's Mooch to me, like if Microsoft came out with an OG like Xbox with the games they had on the original, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Well, we can already play those. That's the thing.
We can play some.
Yeah.
But
could I add something real quick?
Go ahead.
See, the difference is when you have these minis, right? So if Xbox was to say, hey, we're going to come out with an Xbox Mini, that's purely for the casuals that like have, you know, nostalgia. They're not gaming right now. Maybe they have memories of what they played on an Xbox. That's their target audience. And then the same with somewhat of the Nintendos and all that other stuff, because Xbox gives people an ability to play their games already. So if they were to do that, that'd be reaching outside of that market, if that makes sense. So I think more of, they're never going to do it, first of all, but the difference here is it's hypocritical, but I'll let you continue. I just think that a lot of people are pointing out, hey, if Xbox did this, if they had a mini, blah, 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 all these people would go out and buy it. And it's like, well, people would have options. That's the difference here. With the Sony situation, you don't have an option. If you want to, if you want to play the games, you're going to buy this mini for $100, and then you're going to play what games we want you to play. And it goes like that, so.
Yeah. The thing I want to add too is, like, the NES mini, was cheaper, had 30 games, right? Came, it also they're harder to obtain, those games. And personally, I just think that when you use the word nostalgia, if you want to use the word nostalgia, and I've said this a million times, I went and got the SNES Mini Classic, played it for about 3, 4, maybe 5 hours if I'm embellishing a little. And then it goes on the shelf with all the other things that you've collected over the past 30 years.
Exactly.
And that's the thing with the PlayStation 1. And a lot of people turn around and they go, the next argument, after I make my point and they kind of hush up and they're like, well, I really don't want to play those games anyway. Then they're like, well, it's going to sell like crazy. Listen, we used this old joke a long time ago, right? Like Justin Bieber CDs sell out like crazy. Like nobody cares. Like sales is one thing. If you want to have a discussion on money, sales, and value, that's one category. Let's talk economics. Let's talk about business. If you want to sit here and talk about you don't like to play, I don't like to play old games. You guys know that. I'm not a big fan. Like Crap is going to do a segment tonight on Modern Warfare 2. And let me tell you something, I'm not going to agree with him. Because I did that, been there, done that, great. Now, if you say I want to go get this PlayStation Mini for my collection, Fox has a dedicated room of video games. And I think that's amazing. I don't.
Hell yeah.
I don't, and I never will. I don't have a museum in my house of Mooch's memories. Come on in, guys. This was me. This is I remember when I broke my pinky toe and I played this game all the way home. No, I don't have that. Okay, so that's just not my thing. I don't dig that. But if you guys do and you want to buy a PlayStation Mini because it's nostalgic and you want to put it on your wall of memories, knock yourself out. But realistically, let me just break it to everybody who's really excited to spend $100 and you're like, I'm going to get my money's worth out of this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because the minute you get about an hour into any of these games, you're going to be like, holy shit, my eyes crossed. I can't see these 8 pixels the way that my TV intends it to. So, I just, myself personally, I think a lot of it is nostalgia. I think a lot of it really enhances people's wants. You think you want it. You remember the memory of when you enjoyed that game. And realistically, take it from me and take it from yourself. Somebody that probably has the NES or the SNES Mini at home. You're not playing it. You're not. And don't lie to yourself. You're not like PS4 Spider-Man. Get out of here. Forza Horizon 4. Get the hell out of my hands. I gotta play this Castlevania from 1989 right now.
Not even Castlevania.
Of course, it's not. But I
want to play jumping. What the hell?
Jumping Jack Flash. I don't know what's going on.
Hold on, Jumping Flash. Yeah, or R4 Ridge Racer.
Right.
I think it's funny to me that they're throwing was a Final Fantasy VII in there when we already know they're remaking it. It's kind of like, come on, people. They're just trying to grab straws here.
And I know Stephen Rush is just joking in the chat. He goes, Mooch, did you say you want to play the Halo Master Chief Collection? Yes, in 4 glorious K, Stephen. And I know you're just joking.
And you still get achievements, and you can play with your friends.
Exactly. And my friends, and we're in a chat. Now if you want to plug in a 280p TV and play this game, go ahead, knock yourself out. But realistically, you got to phone a friend to hang out with somebody, and you got to tell them how great it is, even though they're not going to believe you on the other end of the phone.
You got to phone a friend, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it comes with a free AT&T phone card.
I agree with most, or half of what Mooch said, because when it came to Rare Replay, remember that was $30.
Yeah,
I played for about a week or two. Done. I always go back whenever they announce new back compat games. I play them for either that day or a couple of days, and then I'm done. Because I do love the nostalgia going back, having those memories. I think Modern Warfare 2 is the one I played the longest so far. But anyway, besides that, and then the Mini, the Nintendo, obviously nostalgia. There's no way in hell that I have that console available to me anymore. That was years and years ago. Yeah. So obviously we picked it up. Me and my brother split it. So it wasn't even that much for me. It was like 30 and 30. So we played it for about a week or two. Done. I don't understand why they're charging 100 for less games. It's not worth it. I don't see it at all.
Right now, Sony is, and don't get me wrong, rightfully so. So everybody relax, but rightfully so. Their egos, it's inflated, and they at this point know that what they can do anything. The sky's the limit. The limit's not the sky.
Yeah, they don't even have to tell you the rest of the games that's in the box.
Yeah, they're not even telling you. Like they don't know.
we know how this went, Mooch. They're like, we could charge whatever we want, 100, 200, and people will pay it. They don't even need to include an adapter, right? They can have like a coupon day or something. Come on.
So
right?
Jurassic Park meme.
I told Mooch what the funny story is. I told Mooch that joke this morning and it killed. Then I made the meme and like I think most people didn't get the joke because it's from 1993. And that's like you'd have to know that Jurassic Park movie, that specific part. But still, I thought it was damn hilarious. Stephen Rouse says, crap, thanks, Mooch, because his rants are so good. He's making you money. Hey, man. No doubt there, man. Keep donating. We really appreciate it. That's always always awesome, man. No matter, I'll mooch off Mooch. That's fine. You know, it's,
that's great. That's wonderful. We call it mooching by association. Go ahead, guys.
You guys make a great point as well, because obviously a lot of the PlayStation fanboys, obviously I'm talking about them, not everybody. They do point out this stuff about who cares about back and pat, who cares about old games, who cares about this. But obviously you guys do if you're paying extra prices to get PlayStation Now, to get those PS2 games on PS4. They're like remastered a little bit, but not really. And then they have trophies, and now this. So obviously you guys cared. You just want to go back and forth with the stupid stuff. So you guys have points on that, obviously. But I'm gonna go a different route, because I'm gonna go after the retro dudes on YouTube, because they're always talking about how, oh, you gotta have the real thing, the real system with the real disc and the real cartridge. And yet I see a couple of guys that are really hyped for this, and I'm wondering, wait, aren't you the same guys that said you'd rather have the real thing instead of this? So they want to shell out and give PlayStation more money for a little mini when they already have a giant collection right behind them. Because you can see they have a bigger collection than me. So it kind of confuses me a little bit. And I'm like, really?
I mean, the thing about that, Fox, is that I think, and Crap's a little guilty of this. This is something that, and I get it. It took me a couple of years to kind of get behind it, but I get it. Some people like to support the team. And realistically, if you're a huge Sony fan, right, and you have all those games behind you, like in a collection, and you have a PS1, a PS2, and you're like, I'm going to buy this anyways, think about it. Like, they have a dedicated wall space to all these games in a memory in their life. To be able to put a nostalgic looking little PS1 there, like whether they use it or not, that to them is like, it's just going to go to their, I mean, I saw pictures of your room, Fox. I mean, you have like a montage to green cartridge holders. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's
and have a Gears section as well. Yes.
Yes, you do, which is very nice.
Well, she kept her Gears console. Go ahead, Salty. I hear you trying to chime in, bro.
Yeah. I just have so much to say. I don't know where to start. The hypocrisy is at an all-time high for Sony right now, and especially it's weird to me because I specifically have some PlayStation dudes blocked, and they don't have me blocked, so I can look at their profile every now and again. And I remember specifically some of these dudes, talking shit to Xbox guys when they're saying, hey, Red Dead's back compat, blah, 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 I'm playing it. Oh, Xbox guys, all they have to play is backwards compatible titles, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And then I look at their profiles, and what are they hyping up today? The PS1 Mini, So that's the first thing. The second thing is RIP to the idea of the PS5 being backwards compatible. I mean, everybody was saying that it was all but, second guess here that we're going to have backwards compatibility be a thing for the PlayStation 5. I would say slow your roll right now, because what is going to motivate Sony to say all of a sudden, hey, we're going to lose all that money that necessarily we could go out with the PS2, the PS3 Mini, the PS4 Mini, the PS4 Pro Mini. They have all this money waiting for them, and they've proved time and time again the anti-consumer ways that they love to do and come up with these crazy excuses. Like, hey, we're not doing backwards compatibility because it's for the children. No, wait, we're not doing backwards compatibility because our network's better. No, it's not. Like, what are these guys? These guys are, it's crazy, man. I don't even know where to begin.
It is. Yeah, it's like you know? I don't know if there's any Simpsons fans here, but there's an episode with this guy named Frank Grimes, and he's so baffled and frustrated because Homer Simpson is such a schlub and he's just getting by in life and doing much better than him, even though he's a hard worker, and he doesn't see why nobody else sees that this guy's an idiot. And that's basically how I think a lot of Xbox fans feel about PlayStation and Sony right now, right? Like, Sony can just literally do whatever they want and nobody says anything about it, right? Hey, no cross progression, no cross play, that's okay. They want to patent the term let's play and screw YouTubers. Hey, that's fine. They want to not allow EA access, that's fine. They want to allow no backwards compatibility, that's fine. They literally can do whatever they want to do and nobody says anything. It's very frustrating. One year they say nobody wants old games because they look ancient. The next year they're trying to sell you $100 piece of hardware specifically just to play a small fraction of those games. Imagine if this one is successful. Then maybe the PlayStation Mini 2 with 20 other games, and then 3 with 20 other games, right? This is how this happens, right? And it's kind of a dangerous situation. And I think that, you know, the fact that you have Sony fans damage controlling this to the extent that they are right now is kind of piss poor. Hey, hit that like button with like 600 watching. That's incredible, but only 100 likes. I think we can do better than that. Let's see if we can get 200.
Yeah, real quick. So people are asking, what's the difference between Nintendo and PlayStation when it comes to these minis? Well, we saw yesterday with Nintendo Online, Nintendo, Switch Online, that Nintendo's not afraid to give you free NES games because you get that with the online service now. So they have both, right? They're giving out free games that you could emulate through their online service, and you could buy the mini. That's not available right now on PlayStation, and then Xbox has their free version of older games. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is weird because you can just, if you want to play an Xbox game, you buy it and it's supported. You just, if you have it, you put it in and you play it. Like, that's how I do it. Like, it's free, and that's how basically how it should be. For me personally, this is a little bit a lot weird and a very hypocritical, and it's funny to see the PlayStation dudes like out of nowhere today too. Like, they'll just, oh man, this isn't bad. What, and they'll bring up something about Xbox controllers, or like, this has nothing to do with Xbox. Xbox isn't the one doing this. Xbox is, doing their own thing. This has to do with Sony straight up like copying. And then when you bring up that they're copying Nintendo, they're like, no, they didn't copy Nintendo. Sega was doing this way before Nintendo. Okay, so you're copying Sega. Like, does it matter who you're copying? You're basically you wouldn't have copied Sega because theirs wasn't as successful as the NES. When the damn NES Mini wins NPDs, then Sony thinks that's a great idea. So basically they are copying Nintendo because Nintendo were the ones with success and Sega wasn't. Right, unfortunately, although Sega had the better games growing up, just saying.
Yeah. we do know it's because Sega had a third-party company make it for them, so it wasn't as great, but it did have 80 games. So then Nintendo made it in-house, and they had, what was it, 30? So yeah, I don't know what PlayStation's thinking with just 20, and then hey, by the way, we're just gonna throw in all this trash. Oh yeah, and Final Fantasy 7 and Tekken 3, because I did grow up with Tekken, so I'm like, oh cool. But my brother has that game, so I could play it right now on my PS2.
Here's the thing, Fox. If you look back to the NES and the Super Nintendo, there was a big difference between what Sony was doing and what Nintendo was doing. So the PS1 games that they're announcing, I don't think there's any first party so far that they've announced. When you take a look at the box, and I have the boxes right here for my SNES Mini and my NES Mini, right? And you see stuff like Mario World,
of course.
The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Yoshi's Island, Mario Kart, Star Fox 2, Kirby, Super Metroid, Kirby Superstar, Donkey Kong Country, Mega Man, Punch-Out, Castlevania. So most of these games were published by Nintendo. I think that's probably the biggest thing, right? Like, Nintendo games sell. And here's the thing. If you're a collector, and I'm a collector, right? Nintendo games don't go down in price, unfortunately. So
yeah, they go up, especially in eBay. When you look them up, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, one time I thought I was selling some stuff, and I thought I was listing this stuff. This was years ago, listing some stuff for a great price on eBay. I was like, nobody's gonna buy this. It was like a GameCube and Smash Brothers for that, and some other stuff. And I was like, I'll list this really, I'll put it up for about like $600. 2 seconds after I listed it, it sold. Turns out that those games were worth a lot more than what I realized, right? Like people, the Pokemon Stadiums of the world, that Smash Brothers in particular for the GameCube is worth a lot of money. So people bought it, right? Because Nintendo games go up more. You can go into any mom and pop shop that has, you know, or eBay and buy these games for like 99 cents. You know, for the PlayStation 1, where Nintendo games, their first party games, hold their value and increase in value. Like I could take a copy for my regular Wii, Super Mario Brothers, and probably get $25 trade in. What other game I could trade in God of War and not even get $25 trade in for that right now?
Right.
Like that's the big difference as far as I'm concerned. Plus, like I said, just looking at the games, it's not holding up as well.
Nintendo definitely has the strongest allegiance, and it goes by that resale factor crap. I mean, it is ridiculous. And I'm kind of embellishing here slightly because my information's about a year old, but I remember just going to buy some of the used games over at GameStop for the 3DS for my kid, and he was like, dude, he's like, he wanted the Super Mario 2, whatever it was. I don't know. You know, they have a million of them, and I go, how old is this? He's like, it's about 2 years old. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I bring it up there, and he's like, 42 something. I'm like, no, buddy.
I said, sounds about right.
A, it's used, and B, I'm like, it's 2 years old. You just told me that. He goes, that's correct. And I'm like, you have a serious problem. Like, are you out of your mind? Are you crazy?
Yep.
Right now, we'll go home and just jump around the house playing sound effects from Super Nintendo. Get out of here. I'm paying for $42. I'm going to buy a brand new game on PlayStation or Xbox. Dude. I mean, these guys, but that's the whole thing. So when Nintendo comes out with these things, I get it.
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
You know, and when that's why I made that original statement. I was a little shocked to see $100, which is not the final cost. You have to get the adapter. There's things you have to buy, and then you only get 20 games. Where Nintendo, which really usually has you, you know, cuffed by the hands, is giving you, it was like $89 or $79 for 30 games, and it came with everything in the box. Yeah. So I mean, that was the one thing that kind of baffled me, that Sony that price tag and the 5 games. Listen, whether you're talking about a movie coming attraction or you're talking about anything, you always show your best when you're doing a coming attraction because you want to lure in the audience. The fact that they showed those 5 games, I was like, that doesn't speak well for the next 15. Like, what does that mean if you have Jumping Jack Flash? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to, you know, I mean, I don't want to play that. And I know everyone's really gung-ho about Final Fantasy VII, but the remake is supposed to be coming out sometime in the next 15 years. So, I mean, like, you know, it's like, I don't know. To me personally, it was just a lot. And then you got the Jim Ryan quote, and you got all the backlash from back. And don't get me wrong, Sony fans, I kind of get you. You guys know this has been a huge kind of comical thing that we discuss on Xbox Nation, is how much I think back compat is great. I think it's something you guys should all enjoy. Myself personally, it's not for me. So a lot of these old game things aren't really for me. But at the same time, I get it if you dig the whole nostalgia thing. But Sony fans were pretty adamant about not being into this, and now they're defending it. It's just very interesting.
They don't care that they already own the game. That doesn't matter. They're like, I'm gonna buy it again. That's what I want.
That's the problem, I think, right? So that's where you control. Like we get called every name in the book, right? We're this or that when it comes to Xbox, right? But the fact of the matter is, I just did a video about how it's messed up, how Microsoft charges you to play free-to-play games online. And Sony fans, if you bring up anything that that they do possibly as wrong or not consumer friendly, they will try to deflect that into something that Xbox did, or how it's okay, or how it's not really that bad. And that's the unfortunate thing, because Xbox aren't the only ones that realistically, you know, that do bad things. Like Sony has been doing suspect things for years. The only reason they're in the position they're in is because Microsoft like stubbed their toe out of the gate, you know, and that's unfortunate. Now we're seeing stuff like a check-in once a week on your console is nobody's caring, right? Right. Is that really hampering anything? Because though, and we'll probably talk about that tonight. It's a topic, you know, if you guys didn't know, the Switch with their online thing is requiring a check-in online. and nobody's saying anything about it.
No, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Remember 2013? People were like, no. I mean,
how can what are the people in submarines?
How could you?
Submarines, Mooch.
What's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen to the people in the submarines? How they gonna play
me, you, and everybody on BGST? We all said the same thing. We were all like, guys, we all have cell phones that require. Like if you don't have internet, your cell phone's a brick.
Yeah, and everybody has a cell. Even me, man. I mean, I got rid of that flip phone years ago. You know,
we all appreciate that.
Yes,
but I mean, no, realistically, crap. I think that like I'm even actually excited that you went and got the. I can't stand Android, but I'm glad you got one so you can actually get group text messages. But no, realistically, I think that this is. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But how funny is it to sit here and go, 2013, folks, wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
We want to sit here and act like that was like 2 millennia ago.
Like, oh, man, I remember the good old days. Remember that?
Remember back in the day, crap, when people used to get mad about pinging an Xbox? Oh, wait, that was yesterday. So
basically,
it's like
the grand scheme of gaming, it was like it's not that long ago. So it is a little bit funny.
Xbox really, the problem with Xbox, and I said this if you go back and listen, I said this a long time ago. Xbox just did a really bad job of just explaining what the fuck they were gonna do.
Yeah,
like just
poor job.
They still do.
Poor. Yeah, they still do. Yeah.
Like you got Fredo advertising Inside Xbox next week. Nobody wants to watch.
Yeah,
he's not talking about Inside Xbox. He's talking about the white gloves again.
And he's talking about the Nintendo's social media account. Did you see that move?
Yes.
He's like, anybody else glued to Nintendo's account to see what game they're going to announce next?
Anybody else picturing Phil right now as actually Michael Corleone being like, "You're dead to me, Fredo"? Stop talking about that. You're on Inside Xbox next week.
Exactly. Let's stop talking about Nintendo for a second. Let's talk about Xbox. Because we're the ones with a big game coming.
Come on, Phil. I'm smart. I can do it too.
Hey, smart. You got to trust me, Phil. Hey, I can do Mage's job. Give me the gloves.
Give me the gloves. Give me the gloves.
Give me the gloves. I'm smart. I can do it.
My God.
Believe in me, Phil. I'm not dumb like people say. I'm smart.
Oh my God.
Sounds like Anthony Michael Hall in the back seat of Weird Science. Give me the keys, Lisa. Give me the keys. Like, I don't, right? He's like, come on, man. I'm like,
these people have no clue what we're talking about.
This is a true nostalgia episode.
Somebody put a muzzle on Graham. Just have him smile again with an on holiday.
If you guys haven't seen Weird Science or The Godfather, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, if you guys have not seen those two movies, like, realistically, check it out. Come on, you're in the nostalgia. You guys are all sitting here. You know what's funny? There are a lot of people that are like, have no idea, never seen that movie before, Mooch. You must be crazy. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're sitting here telling me you can't wait to play Jumping Jack Flash from 20 years ago? Go check out Weird Science. It's hysterical.
It is. It's really good. I wanted to also talk about this because we're going to pour out some on the curb. PUBG rating leaks, PS4 version imminent. So it looks like we're going to get an announcement for this. Now, I called this a while ago. Microsoft, hey, they did what they could. They actually came in at a good time, locked this down for what looks like a year, exactly when they needed it. They got it around the holidays last year, and it looks like Sony's going to get it for the holidays this year. The difference is it was very popular when Microsoft got it, and it's on the way out when Sony gets it. Look, they downgraded the game on the Xbox One X recently, which baffles me. Right? Like, how do you release it? Imagine this, Mooch. Microsoft goes, okay, we released Forza Horizon 4, and then 2 weeks later they go, we're going to downgrade everything for it, right?
It's not working like we thought.
Yeah, so like that wouldn't work for me. So like I don't understand that. The game, like, it runs okay, like, but then they downgrade it, and then it'll, like, it's all over the place is the problem.
I got news for you. The news of it going to PS4 crap and the fact of the downgrade, you take all that as far as all the people that own it on Xbox. I did a tweet today, likes galore. See you on Blackout, folks. It's time to move on. Salty, great tweet right after I did mine. He poured a little OE on the ground for it. Realistically, listen, you said it right, crap. You nailed it. It did its job. It was the Battle Royale filler when Battle Royale was still not even a household name. It did what Microsoft wanted it to do. It sold whatever 9-10 million copies, or active users. I don't know. It's hard to. There's so many damn variations of how people are playing the game these days. But whatever, there's about 9 million people that are playing or have own it on their console. It did what it was supposed to do. But realistically, and I hate to say this, but PUBG's out. It's done. I think come October, whatever it is, 10th or 19th, when Blackout comes out, it's going to be Blackout and Fortnite, and PUBG is going to be a distant third.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, go ahead, Salty.
Speaking of blacked out, we should just black out PUBG permanently. You know what I think? I think of fidget spinners when I think of PUBG. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Like, Damn. The thing. Everybody's spinning those things, buying them, talking about it. It's the thing. Everybody's excited about them. Where's a fidget spinner right now? It's nowhere. It's in the garbage, right? That's the same with PUBG. It was the thing. Everybody's buying it, but they kind of overlook how garbage it is. Yep. This developer doesn't know how to, optimize shit. Every time they try to fix something, it gets worse.
Yep.
The latest example was this message they put out right after the game goes to full launch. It's crazy. Come on, guys. Like, can we not see through the bullshit? Like, they don't care right now. They know the writing's on the wall. Their game is on mobile. It looks better on mobile than it does on the Xbox One X. So do yourself a favor, uninstall the game, and move on.
King Ram says, hit the like button. I'm not reading the rest of that, though, bro, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button. Let's go. We still got almost 600 watching. Less than 200 likes. Let's get a bunch of likes up on here. Mooch, what do you think about this, man? Because we were both on the PUBG train kind of early.
Oh, absolutely. I still love Battle Royale.
I like it. Yeah, I like Battle Royale. It never really, I think, ran to the performance that
we talked about it on Crossfire last weekend, and God bless XBot448 who came out and said, I said,
what's going on?
What's going on? He goes, Mooch, that's not fair to say that. The game has really been fixed when I was making a rubber band comment. Yeah. And I said,
rubber band, man. That's right, what I think of.
The problem I have is like, listen, I got news for you. It was in preview, so give it a pass. And Mooch gave it a pass. I gave it a full trial. But we're 4 months in. We're 5 months in. We're 6 months in.
It's officially out now. Yeah.
And I'm like, now it's not rubber banding, but now it's got other problems. And it's like, all right. I'm like, but before 5, 6 months of the rubber banding, that was bad. And then other times, you had people that had, great. We all bought the X, and that's great. It performed a little bit better on the X. But for people that owned an S or a day one, like Grave, that time he was like, guys, don't leave yet. I can't even see any. Nothing's actually. None of his guns or pans or anything showed up. Yeah. So he had nothing to fight with. And it was like, listen. Here's the thing. I want to say this much. Let's talk business for a minute. Okay. Bluehole, might have made a great check the past 12 months. They probably did. They're probably doing very well, folks. Don't feel bad for them. They're doing very well. They've been eating filet mignon for months. Yeah. They're doing well. But, as I was saying last night when I was on RDX, people that make money, they usually like more money. And the one thing they messed up on was they thought they were going to be the big cheese for a very long time. I
thought that too, which I have no problem admitting when I was wrong.
No, listen, crap, and I'll defend you. Okay. Yeah. I'll defend you in the fact that when you were saying that, and a lot of people were, the thing about it was this: if people thought Microsoft would still acquire them, I'm pretty sure at some point, nobody knows this for certain, but at some point it was probably discussed that Microsoft would obtain these folks. And they said no. We want to be our own thing. We want to go to PS4, because they thought they were going to be the Battle Royale kings. Then Fortnite came and literally curb stomped them. Yeah. And now you have Blackout, which you're right. Fortnite's free, folks. It's hard to listen, coming from a mooch, mooching is really, hashtag free. So free is difficult to pass up. But one of the only titles that consistently sells well over 20 million a year is always Call of Duty. So if anyone's going to give Fortnite a run for their money, it's Call of Duty, and the amount of money that Activision has. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So, Microsoft. So in short, because I want to hear what Foxy and Salt got to say, I just think personally that Bluehole made a tremendously awful business decision. They should have gotten to bed with Microsoft a long time ago, taken that big check, let Microsoft own it, let them fix the issues, and they would probably be a contender right now, where now there never was. There never was. As I pop the collar, there never was.
What do you think, Fox?
Well, you guys already know I'm not into the Battle Royale stuff, but I could definitely see where you guys are coming from. Call of Duty is just a brand new animal now. They have somehow revamped the Call of Duty name. So now everybody knows Blackout. They're looking forward to Blackout. They have tried Blackout. And we all know that Fortnite literally took the ball away from PUBG, and PUBG just stood there. They didn't try to perfect anything. They didn't try to make it better. Yeah, they did a lot of promotion for the Xbox, which was nice because they got new fans, but that's it. That's all they did. After that, they didn't make the game better. They didn't fix stuff. If they did, it was a snail's pace. We all know that Fortnite took over and made its own different animal. And if you don't like the building bullshit that happens in that game, then Blackout is literally right there for you. Because a lot of people compare this one to PUBG. So right now, I just see PUBG as just old man back there, sitting and waiting.
Yeah, like I agree, and I like the game, but it just let's be honest, it's a day late and $1 short. Like it came. Go ahead.
Crap. I want to say something. I shout out to @Stop6Stock who also hooked up crap in the super chat. He says, "Mooch, I'm having blackout withdrawals."
Who?
Stop 6. Let me say this much. And crap, listen, take this as long as you want to take it, or take it as short as you want. For the weekend, we had it on Xbox, and I played it a few times also on PlayStation. Listen, I really miss that game right now. And you're probably going, what the hell are you talking about, dude? We have a plethora of games. You're right. And listen, I would never be like, I'm dedicating Thursday nights to Blackout. Probably not. But what I loved was before I knew I had a lot of time to dedicate to swinging to the left and swinging to the right the past 10 years or 10 days. Pardon me. Feels like 10 years.
Felt like years.
Felt like years. But right. And then also playing Destiny and catching up there, I would always just hop on and just crank up the A50s, right? Get the sound as loud as I can, go in there and play a solo match, play a second solo match, play a third solo match. Got done doing some Destiny, leveling up. I'm like, all right, guys, yeah, it's a long night. Right over to Blackout. Like, it's just fun to pick up and play for like 20 minutes. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the 60 frames. I don't know if it's still the strategic feel that PUBG had. But with the Fortnite speed, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
It's the frames. But
I'm loving it, crap. Yeah. I'm really, and shout out to Predator. Pred's he's not in love with it. And I'm not in love with it. You guys don't understand. I'm not in love with it, but Blackout, it scratches that battle royale itch, guys. And I think you guys get that.
Hey, Predator says, love Blackout, but call him BS. We all trash Call of Duty for no campaign. Hey, to be fair,
I did not, Pred.
Yeah, to be fair, 2 of the people on here didn't. Me and Foxy did. Foxy's not getting Call of Duty, I don't think. But
I'm not.
And I'm not sold on it either. I might not get it. Here's the thing that happened to me, right? So I'm playing the beta, and I played it by myself, and I'm like, hey, this moves fast, the movement. Like, I wanted to play it with friends, and then they disabled that. Right, I couldn't get anybody in my game, so that was a little bit unfortunate. I never got to experience it with friends. I was having all kinds of issues where it kept locking up, so I was having issues with that. So I'm not like, to me, that's the only one part of that game that I would want to play. I wish they'd sell it for $30 separately, or include it in there for 60 or whatever.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying that.
Yeah, because I have no interest in playing the zombies or the basic Call of Duty multiplayer this year, but I do think that Blackout has it. Let's be honest, it's might be the first AAA battle royale game.
Yeah, and the modes, crap. The modes. I mean, there's an area of the map, and I think I was just playing the regular solo mode, but there's an area on the map that's infested with zombies. So cool. Shame on me for not knowing. I'm playing solo. I think
there's two. There's 2 sections.
Is there? And I landed there, and I'm like, I'm grabbing weapons and whatever, and all of a sudden I hear like the zombie. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I didn't know, right? So I'm looking out because I saw somebody else land by me. Yeah. So I'm like looking out the window, and I'm searching around. All of a sudden I'm like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and there's an army of zombies, and I'm like wrecking them. All of a sudden I'm like, yes, I killed all of them. I didn't die. I turn around, there's a guy shooting me. And I'm like, holy shit, like, this is what I'm talking about. It's fun, man. And that's not even like the full on zombie mode.
Well, you know what I was impressed with? First of all, it was pretty fluid when I played it. They'll have the servers and stuff fixed out and to where you can invite your friends. That's a no-brainer. Right. They upped it to 100 people there at the end.
Yes.
That's to me.
Really? I know they were 88.
It was 88, but
they did the last day. I think. Yeah, the last day they upped it to 100.
They probably they were testing it out. They were like, let's see if we could do it.
I got news for you. News for you guys. Here's the difference between 88 people in a match and 100 people in a match. If you win the lottery this upcoming Friday, and somebody's like, you won $237 million, and you're a hardworking American or a hardworking person in general, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, oops, we made a mistake. You won $219 million. You don't give a shit. Okay? So whether or not I land and I have to fight 99 people or I have to fight 87 people, I don't give a shit. It feels the same. So the 100 is really just a trophy at this point. I mean, now if they said there was only 20 people, now we have to have a discussion.
Yeah.
But 88 and 100, by all means, do what you got to do, Treyarch. Just make the game smooth as butter. I don't give a shit.
I agree. Hey, we got 188 likes. Let's get to 250 because we got over 600 watching. So I think that should be doable.
Guess what? We were talking about PUBG and we ended up talking about Blackout. Surprise.
We did. I know.
Hey, Foxy, you're going to have to get Blackout just to keep up with the conversation.
It's like when you talk about a DC movie and then it goes into a Marvel movie.
Yes!
Because DC movies are trash. I'm sorry. They just are. Hey,
Fact Jack.
Yobi Dren. Hey, this guy is a huge supporter of the community.
Yes,
I see him in like everybody's chats donating and stuff like that. Good guy. He says, good evening, folks. Happy Life Day to everybody. It's not real day, but just wanted to say that. I think Life Day might have been a thing in the Star Wars universe, but that might be showing my nerd. He says, crap, Lady Fox, Mooch. How do you feel about the lawsuit and things EA has going on with the loot box issue? EA has to die. You know what? The loot box thing is weird because in some countries they consider that to be gambling. Yeah. And you know, that's a real problem. Like for me, why not just you're not really going to lose anything. I guess maybe people basically they want people to waste their money, or not just EA, but in general, loot boxes. Like you keep spending money on stuff, hoping you get the thing you want. Right. Whereas why not just give people the option up front to get what you want, right? If you want a certain skin or something, have them pay a couple bucks for it. Like, keep people happy. You know, it's going to be a lot less hectic that way, and I think that's really the better way to do it. And EA, I don't want EA to die because they make games that everybody play. I like what they have to do, and I'd hate to see something happen to those developers and those franchises. But they do need to change some things around and be a bit more consumer friendly. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I don't like their policies, but I like their games. So hopefully they could square this out because obviously, people don't like the boxes. I don't see them as an issue that much because most of the stuff is cosmetics. So I don't hardly ever buy boxes. If I ever do, it's probably once or twice ever. And yeah, that was my choice. I did that. Nobody forced me to do that, but
I agree with Fox. Yeah, I mean, realistically, I understand that Star Wars Battlefront 2 did do it the wrong way. I mean,
dude,
they did it the wrong way.
At first, I'm having fun, and then you run into the people with those cards, right? And you're like, holy crap, right?
Yeah,
like
the game changing.
Yeah, the star cards or whatever. Like, wow. Like, because that game is so gorgeous and plays so well. And everybody's just got like these cards. Now I went back to
like OP cards.
Yeah, and just you get smoked, right? Like it's like boop, 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 and then you're down, man. And you're just like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I agree with Foxy. I've been playing games throughout this generation, last generation. You can go back many generations. Of course, you go back too far. There was no loot boxes. But
yes,
my whole thing about it is I don't have a problem with microtransactions. I don't have a problem with loot boxes. Yes, if it means on day one somebody can go and spend $20 and get some kind of firing weapon that destroys the opponent, of course I'm opposed to that. That's ridiculous. And anybody who does that should get all the repercussions that social media puts out there. But if, I've been playing Destiny, and there's some of the emotes that people have that they've spent 10, 20 bucks. And it's funny. They guilt shame themselves, and it's fun because they're like, I spent 10 bucks on this. You guys want to bust my balls? Go ahead. But this is great. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I wouldn't spend 10 bucks on that, but it looks good. You know what I mean? And I'm like, listen, it does. It looks good. And I'm like, I don't have a problem if that's what you like to do. Listen, a lot of people don't get this, and a lot of people on YouTube don't get this, because YouTubers that game and do game reviews, they buy everything. They play everything. So sometimes, even if they're, review copies or whatever, they still put a lot of money into gaming. But a lot of people just play. I know some people that play Destiny, and they play Destiny only. And I hate that always use that as a reference because Halo a friend of mine that I know, he plays the crap out of Destiny. And one of our other friends gives him a lot of shit because he puts like, he buys the silver, he puts, you know, like real currency into it. And he's never making himself any better or stronger than we are. He just looks better and has more like gear, or like better looking gear and stuff. And it's like, he puts money. And so somebody was giving him shit one night and they're like, why do you do this? And he's like, listen, man. He's like, you bought gears, you bought Forza, you bought this, you bought that. He's like, you want this and that. He's like, I only play this game. So he's like, yes, I am not shameful to say. He's like, I dropped $200 in the past year on Destiny. He's like, you've dropped $200 on 4 of the 15 games you bought. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you spent way more than me. So if people really dig that, whether it be League of Legends or it be World of Warcraft or it be Destiny or it be anything, the Division, whatever they have that makes you enjoy that game better, if it's a cosmetic or it's maybe a different vehicle or something that looks different, and that's more representing you, that's your money and that's your experience. I don't get, like, that's why this is the most I've ever talked on this subject, because whenever Crap brings up, and it's not his fault, he's bringing up news. When the news comes up about loot boxes or issues, unless it's a player advantage or disadvantage situation, I don't have a problem with it.
Mooch, I just got to counter what you're saying.
Go ahead.
The main thing that I have issues with, being a parent myself, I know you are, and I know many other people have kids. The problem with the situation is when these loot boxes are designed specifically by psychologists to get people addicted, the way they sound, the way they look. Just look at some of these loot boxes, the way they open up. Boom, you know, the coins spin out. They have different colors. A gold has a certain percentage to come out. The problem that I have is it's not regulated when it comes to kids. You know, kids can play these games. Kids can open these loot boxes. Kids
like
can
Overwatch.
Kids can get addicted to doing this. We have addictive natures when it comes to human beings, and then these companies are preying on these young kids because it's not regulated like gambling, right? And even if you're a parent and you try to regulate your kids, there's only so much you can do, because if they're playing Overwatch or whatever, they get these loot boxes, they open them up there and they start getting that rush. Oh damn, I got an epic here, I got a legendary, boom, and they feel that rush. That's the problem I have, because I know for a fact these companies are trying to get these kids addicted quick and young, because it's not regulated like gambling, and that's the main issue I have. And I think that's the biggest issue, because like microtransactions, you know, if you have a skin, you tell me, hey, this skin's worth this amount of regular money, and you say, hey, you can go out and buy this, that's cool, I'll do that. Yeah. But when you're putting it into like you know, a slot machine and have me pull the dial and see what I get, that's the problem.
I think Salty brings up a hell of a point. My argument was more along the lines of, you know, I'll use the word adult gamers. As far as kids, he's right. So me and my son have an ongoing joke. Back when Fortnite before it was like the sensation that the media was reporting, like that was when it was in its early stages. He was playing it, and he was enjoying it, and he kept on saying to me, oh, I love this skin. I want to get this skin. I need more V-Bucks. I need this, I need that. And so I made this ongoing joke with him. I said, okay. I said, every time you ask me for V-Bucks, I'm just going to tally it. And he goes, okay, whatever. So he asked for the skin, right? This cool looking thing for the character. And it's like 2,000 V-Bucks, which I believe is $19.99. Okay, folks, that's not chump change. And we've gone all the way through, right? Currently, up to date today, we are at $140, and him asking me how awesome this would look if he could get. And I said, buddy, $140 for a free-to-play game. And he now he laughs. Yeah, but now he laughs and has a good time with it. Now he's like, I see what you mean, Dad. Like, but it's the conversation where I sit there. You know, I do the mooch economics with him as well. I show him everything, right? Moochonomics, okay? Yeah. We do it for math, but nonetheless, I really think that like that's something that you should do if you do have kids. Sit down, let them know the difference in what the monetary value is, because these to add to Salty's point, these companies have people that come in and design this strategically to fool children, so they use these made up values. Okay, that's why Microsoft got rid of the fake currency they used to have. You know, buy
Microsoft points,
$5 and you get this many Microsoft points. Like, you know. You get Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Not only did they have that, but you couldn't, you couldn't, you had to have like more or whatever. Like, so $5 would be like 450 points.
Right.
And then stuff cost, so you'd always have to buy more.
Right. So when the kid sees $20 equals 2,000 V-Bucks, they're thinking it's a deal.
Yeah.
What a deal. You throw 20 and you get 2,000. You get 2,000 imaginary dollars.
Hey, I got to pay some bills real quick. Danny Andano says, I don't walk into a grocery store and grab a mystery bag hoping when I get home it has what I need. Give me the option to buy what I want, not a crate. So that's exactly what I was saying, right? Like, imagine you're like, okay, I have this list of groceries. I'm going to go into the grocery store, and they just got like these different crates set up, and they're like, give us your money. Here's your crate. Like, you're not going to get what you
also, but to that person who says that, you also buy an imaginary lotto ticket once a week and hope the numbers on there appear on TV. I mean, realistically, we all do this, right? But the thing is, it's not fair to do it to the younger folks because they don't know, and that is fooling them. But realistically, if you can sit there and let them know that these values are not realistic and it's fake currency, and then when you realize that the $20 you're actually putting into it just gets you a skin, and then every 2 weeks they ask you for a different skin, I'm like, now we're at 40, now we're at 60, now we're at 80. It gets ridiculous, and I think majority of kids will get that if you have a talk with them.
But Mooch, look how stupid that sounds. Like when you go up to McDonald's and you're like, pull a handle, you're like going there to get a Big Mac. Oh, damn, I got to pull this handle. Pull it. Fucking chicken nuggets. You pull it again. I got fries this time. You keep pulling it until you get a Big Mac. It's like $40 later. Right. And they're like, can that be $40, sir? And you're like, okay.
It is ridiculous.
There's chicken nuggets again. Damn it.
Well, you know what? If Salty was actually doing that, I would hope that I'd be his friend near him, because while he's dishing all these things he doesn't want, I'd be eating them.
That's how you mooch, folks. That is
exactly how you mooch.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. The minute I think somebody on I can't remember if it was Crossfire or they called it on MNC last week, crap, and they're like, "Thanks, Mooch. You saved me $60 on that game." I'm like, "Well, I'm glad I saved you 60. You can at least throw 30 to me." For God's sake. We're all going to make out on this deal.
I do that too. Foxy Deals. Watch out. Check out my
That is true. It's very true.
I've spent like $300 on those, by the way. I'm just saying. I got some cool statues and stuff, though. So,
but the last point I wanted to make was a lot of people like to aim it towards EA, and obviously we don't agree with their practices, and we want them to change certain things, and I think they have changed for the most part. A lot of the stuff in Battlefront too. Other developers do this too. Other publishers do this too, but yet they don't get that much, their finger pointed at them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Activision does that with COD, where not only are you paying for boxes separately, by the way, there's guns in those. Guns that are better than the guns that you start with.
Yeah, even in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I was surprised. Like, I went back to that the other day, and I'm playing it, and I pick up this gun. I'm like, what the hell gun is this? I'm like, this gun isn't. I don't know this gun. You're a dirty gun. Why am I going? Why is there a depot in Call of Duty 4? You know what I mean? That's not my Call of Duty 4. Come on, get out of here with that stuff.
They change stuff like that, and they add different things, and then on top of that, they have season pass, so you're paying for a lot of different things.
Yeah,
other companies do it too, not just EA. And obviously, we do want EA to be better because sometimes their shit stinks.
Man, I could just see Sony's pockets lining up now with that damn classic. Man, people are fools. Okay, so anyway, on to Capcom Vancouver. They closed down, and all their projects canceled, and they were working on Dead Rising 5, which was rumored to be at least a year timed exclusive for Xbox. Those people, they lost almost 200 employees there.
That sucks for them.
It does. A couple of Microsoft studios were like, hey, we're hiring, including Undead Labs and the Coalition.
Coalition always says that. They always say that every time.
Because they're all beefing up. They're all hiring, but
they're not beefing up. They like you to hit the like button after they tweet that.
Oh, come on, Mooch. Are you saying?
What do you mean? They need more people making the pop. They got to make that Gears pop game, baby. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the Gears pop game.
Or that, yes.
Yes. Good point. Well, we know for a fact that Undead Labs is hiring, so...
Yeah, Mooch and Crap are hiring. Everybody's hiring.
Hey, we are actually.
We are hiring.
So more news on that tomorrow. So
true.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know. This is a bit of a bummer. I like the Dead Rising series. I like 3, 4. I like, but it was a step back in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it was bad.
Especially in the quality. But I did like the Christmas.
It was almost like we went 1, 2, 3 back to 2.
Yeah. I would say.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
there was no time limit, so I do like that.
Yeah, there was no time limit. Boy, that got them out of a lot of misery, didn't it?
Just
keep the time limit out. Doesn't matter if everything looks the same. Just keep the times out.
Keep the time. That made me play because the first two, it was like, ugh. You
I
know
got
what
halfway
mean?
through it until I was like, all right, I don't feel like making another, like, you know, John Deere mobile and running over 1 million of the same looking thing.
I really like doing that. I really like making the different things and doing that. The
Did you like while you were doing it, you were getting mauled? That was the part I had a hard time with.
I always found a really nice spot to kind of.
I could never find a spot.
There's tons of spots in there. You can just do it in your safe house or whatever. But you know what? What's funny to me is I beat that game in like 8 hours. I thought it was like super, and it was super easy compared to 3. Like that last mission on 3, whoo! That one was a toughie, man. Like palm sweat and Gatorade. I got my headband on for that. It took me quite a few tries to kind of get that one done because you're like following stuff, and it was a pain in the ass. But Mooch, what do you think about this? Because I was expecting that we'd get a Dead Rising announcement soon.
Nah,
and it'd be something big for Xbox.
I don't. Listen, you get the public service announcement. Nobody wants anybody to lose their job. I get that. We all like that, right? That's everybody. Okay, but realistically, the past few games they put out were horrid. And
Dead Rising 3 was good, I thought. You know,
you have to put an asterisk next to it. It was very good for a launch game. And I mean, it is what it is. It was good. I didn't mind. I thought those 75,000 parking cones you could pick up crap.
Yeah.
In Dead Rising 3, I didn't need all 75,000 of them. They could have just put 18 of them in.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, right? That was ridiculous. When you got far enough along, you didn't want to make the bugle or the horn.
Yeah.
I'm 3 hours in. I'm not making a horn. Get out of here with that goddamn parking cone. All right. But I mean, I just, Dead Rising 4, here's what I said with Dead Rising 4, and I thought this would have been a big time moneymaker, right? So we were getting into the whole make a game and then add on it. So look, what do we do every Christmas, folks? Everybody watches what? A Christmas Story or Home Alone, right? We watch the same traditional things. What's that thing with Jimmy? What's his face? Where he's like, Mary!
It's a Wonderful Life, and don't knock that movie.
Right? He's just yelling Mary for half of it. Yeah, he's like, every time.
He's not. Holy crap, Mooch. Do not do this. That's like my favorite movie.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying it's a tradition. We all watch it, right? Every time an angel, whatever it is, an angel gets his wings, whenever a bell rings, whatever. All right? My point being is that I thought
Xbox.
No, I'm not going there. No, that's something different. Every time an Xbox is sold, right, an angel loses his wings. Listen, that's a true story, by the way. But Dead Rising 4 took place during Christmas, and they had a little niche thing going on with the whole Frank, what was his name? Frank West, right? And he was enjoying Christmas, and it was crazy, and zombies with Christmas kind of had this like fun little theme going. I thought it would have been great if they had then, after the next year, given the game away for free or very much discounted, and then have Christmas DLC with zombies. And everybody would be like, that's the Christmas thing to do, right? Because after you get past Black Friday, because they released the game in December. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They released it in December. So that was like another niche thing that I thought was pretty cool. So if they kept doing every December, 8th, December 7th, December 6th, with the Frank West Christmas edition, and it was like another, 3 hours just for $10, you would have built this community, this thing that was like, I can't wait to play that Christmas zombie theme thing. And I thought that would have been neat. And I said that a long time ago. Of course, nobody over there is hiring people from the East Coast. But anyway, my God, turn on an air channel once in a while. Hear the airwaves. But I think that would have been really cool and maybe kept the game afloat, because that game crap, literally 2 weeks after it came out, it was dead. It was dead. Right after Christmas ended, dead. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. It wasn't a bad idea. I like where they were going with it, but they didn't execute correctly.
Yeah, they should have changed the theme. I agree.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's possible. What do you think?
By the way, that game's on. The game's on sale for $20 if you guys, Anyway,
yeah, try it out. Support it.
Yeah, for Christmas, obviously. It sucks that we lost another dev, but if you're not producing, you got to split it up. You got to do something else. That's a kind of a waste of money, obviously, business wise. Yeah. And I mean,
Mary!
I know.
Sorry.
I know
Movie Emporium.
Oh my God, these guys.
Sorry.
It's not at my house. It's at Bill's house and Fred's house.
I like Home Alone.
Say something like that, Mary.
I like Home Alone, Lost in New York. Just so you know.
I got another sound effect coming up on MNC. Sorry, go ahead, Foxy. Jimmy Stewart.
Go ahead, Foxy. Sorry.
I quit. I'm leaving. No, okay. I know that Mooch and my younger brother love like zombie stuff, but I think with Dead Rising is gotten very stale. And yes, even though 3 was really good and it was darker than the others, after that, people were just done with it. So, I'm not surprised that this is happening, and I hope to see them in other, doing other things in other studios. You guys are assholes. You guys are assholes.
Hey, Moochko, my mouth's bleeding, Bert. My mouth's bleeding.
My mouth's bleeding, Bert. Please. It's unbelievable. Isn't it great? I love it. Listen, I love it too, Crap, because it's tradition, baby. Listen, I still watch Home Alone, for God's sake, at Christmas.
Lost in New York. Hell yeah.
But why? There's nothing really Christmassy about Home Alone. He beat the shit out of Joe Pesci. Doesn't sound like Christmas to me.
Oh, come on, man.
No, it was great. I loved it. I loved it. Who doesn't love it?
Burned his hair. It was awesome.
Yeah, the sticky band or the wet bandits, and then
the wet bandits. Then they were the sticky bandits.
Yeah, so
he's like, oh, Marv.
Hold on. Eternal Shada says, "Do you think Dead Rising series gives competition to Dying Light and State of Decay series?"
No.
I think it's a dead series. Dead Rising is dead. Get it?
Yeah.
Oh,
damn.
Get it?
They'll just call it dead now.
Yeah, it's
Dead Rising.
It's just dead. It's the dead series. I don't think they're gonna work on it anymore, to be honest with you. So
real quick though, I remember Dead Rising 3. The thing that stood out to me was like the amount of zombies that were on the screen. And then I played it, and then I was playing through it. It was a pretty good game. I didn't ever finish it, but I think it just time kind of passed it by. There's a lot more interesting zombie games out there, and I think it just got repetitive, and they didn't adapt the game enough or change it enough to keep with the program. And then, unfortunately, they got shut down. I saw a lot of people saying that Microsoft should acquire them, but I don't see why they would need to do that,
Right.
Because they already have Undead Labs, and I don't see how those two go together. They're two different things, So, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody get that dog up. I don't know whose dog that was, but if I find out whose it is, you're in trouble.
It's like Crap song.
It is. Get in here, Butters. Come on.
Hey, Butters.
He's like, he does this weird thing where he barks all the time, and like, there's nothing there. Like, what are you barking at? Right. Yeah. So, yeah. So you know what? That is sad that they closed down. I like those games, but it doesn't look like we're going to get another one anytime soon. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's definitely not good. Oh, here's something that I thought was interesting. It looks like we're going to be getting a beta for Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and this is launching after the game actually comes out in October. So I want to say, what other company could get away with launching their game that comes out in October and then launch the online like a month later? I know it's kind of what they did with GTA.
Yeah.
But,
we're rock stars, baby.
I get it, but nobody's going to dock them any points for that, whereas everybody else would get docked points for this. So that's,
it's a tough situation, because here's the deal, Crap. Red Dead Redemption 2, if you're buying Red Dead 2 for the multiplayer, you're in a very small circle of people. So a lot of people think it's going to be like GTA Online.
Well,
it's hard for me to put this into words. I think you guys will all get this. The fact that it's coming out a few weeks later, if it was a few months later, that's a problem.
Yeah.
A few weeks later, like GTA. Like, people couldn't wait to get into GTA and get lost in that world. People can't wait to get into Red Dead and get lost in that world.
Yeah.
By the time you're done getting lost in it, and they're like, hey, by the way, Red Dead 2's multiplayer is coming out next week, you're going to be like, yes, perfect timing. I am ready.
Yeah.
And it's Rockstar. So it's like, people are kind of like, I hate to say it, but there are companies, there are, celebrities, there are people on Earth that get that pass, and Rockstar is just one of them. And realistically, I don't have a problem with that, because I can't wait to get, like, really into the story of Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm very much looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I hear you. I just thought it was a little bit weird that they're like, hey, we're releasing our game in October, and then we're going to do a beta for the online portion of the game because it doesn't release with the game.
Right.
Like, I guess that gives people time to go through the game or whatever, but I just have a feeling that it could be great, and they've done it before, but I just think any other studio would just get torn up for that. Like,
absolutely.
What about you, Fox? Well, like, Fox, what do you think about this?
No comment.
Oh, no comment.
Sounds like I am Zoo.
No. I don't care for Red Dead or Cowboys or their.
You're gonna have a really shitty fall holiday, Fox.
How dare you?
You are.
How dare you, sir?
No Red Dead Redemption 2 and no Blackout? What are you going to do? You're going to sit there in the ring of fire by yourself?
Ew, no.
Holy crap.
Me about that trash.
That poor Battlefield. Oh my God.
I'm going to play Conquest. I'm going to play, well, I'm finishing Tomb Raider now. But I got to go back to Spidey.
Oh,
yeah, you'll be playing that in November 18th. Okay.
Swing to the left.
Forza. Man, forget you, Mooch.
What are you,
Oh.
Actually, I'm going to change the subject. I'm gonna no, I don't like Hellboy crap. I'm gonna change the subject because I'm gonna be getting my levels up in Destiny all the way through to play Forsaken. Because
okay, well, you had to go and hit my weak spot. Fine.
Yeah. Somebody gifted it to me, so shout out to that person. He wants to stay anonymous. I appreciate it.
Hey, Fox,
so I got Forsaken, and I mooched it.
So
take that.
Does that person rhyme with Glimmergloss?
Nope.
Interesting.
No, I was gonna say.
You were gonna say something?
Yeah, can't you just up your level with that thing that boosts you up all the way to the level you need to be?
Yeah, I did that with one of my characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. So, yeah. Well, I mean, so you're not into Cowboys. You're not into Blackout. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, what's wrong? What's wrong with me enjoying Tomb Raider, playing Forza, finishing Spidey, playing Battlefield online?
You'll be done with those by the end of September.
Yeah, you got to be close to being done with Tomb Raider because I'm at.
I'm finishing that up, but I got to go back to Spidey, which I'm still like somewhere in the middle.
20 hours. Like that's if you take your time.
No, I was starting to get all the bags, just like you, Mooch.
Oh, you're supposed to be like you, Mooch. You learned from watching you.
I was doing all the bags.
I have spent
the side missions.
I did go what now? I've gone Monday, Tuesday, back to Destiny. Tonight I'm doing Destiny again because I'm almost at 500, and I got to keep trucking. Because I heard once you get to 500, the grind gets real. So I got to keep at it. But I will get back. I'll have Spidey probably done mid-weekend this weekend coming up, and then I start Tomb Raider. But I'm not going to 100% Tomb Raider because Tomb Raider, 65,000 caches. That's just I can't.
Well, I'm doing that too. I'm doing that too. By the way,
you're gonna 100% that.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna 100% because I don't know about the hard mode and stuff. But I like collecting everything. I'm definitely, and I'm playing the game on normal, so it's going really, really good.
So you gotta play it on. You gotta play it on hard to get the full.
I think so. I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a hard mode achievo. But anyway,
I avoid those.
Besides you putting the spotlight on me, yeah, I will be enjoying Battlefield multiplayer when that comes out, and I'm not touching their battle royale because it looks like trash. I'm just saying.
But you like Battlefield?
Yeah, the multiplayer, not the battle royale crap. Ring of Fire. Get out of here.
She doesn't want to play with 100 people. She wants to play with 64 people.
It's not even 100. It's trash.
Well, how many people? Oh, 64 people.
64 people, and what is it? Conquest? Is that what it is?
No, I don't even know. Their battle royale is not even. It doesn't even sound good. It's pretty. I did a video about it. If you guys want to check it out, what's up, chat? How are you?
Oh, the Battlefield 5 battle royale doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Of course, it's pretty bad. I said it to Crap, and he's like, "You don't know."
I don't even think they have solo. I don't even think it's solo. They only have teams, from what I'm hearing right now.
It's made by a company. It's not even DICE.
Yeah.
Well, me Salty made it in the garage like 8 weeks ago. I didn't want to tell you guys.
Wait, what? You guys are the developers that made Black? Because that's the only version.
Salty and Don kind of checked it out over our shoulders. He's a hell of a micromanager.
Dang. Well, no wonder it's trash and I don't like it.
Shout out to the Don.
Yes. What do you think? Salty Red Dead beta comes out after the game?
They could get away with it. I was just happy that they got some information out about the multiplayer. It's kind of been non-existent. They didn't talk about it much. The fact that they're going to even talk about the beta is cool because, like, realistically, they could get away with like putting it off and putting it off. I think that people are just interested in that single player, and they know that they trust the developer that much that they'll get it out eventually, especially with GTA 5, the success there. Proof's in the pudding. As far as the other topic, are we talking about Battlefield? I went to the bathroom, so
no, we were just talking about games because Foxy wasn't a fan. She's not getting Red Dead. or Blackout. So Mooch was
usually the Ring of Fire comes after you eat some hot chili. So
oh my god. Oh, thanks, bro. Thanks for that. That was beautiful.
Yeah. After you do a hot wing challenge. Listen, I don't.
Mooch, you know about that, right? Mooch. You know about that.
All too well. Love my hot wings. All right, that's my guilty pleasure. Is the hot wings. Love hot wings. It is what it is, folks. But
Battlefield's like Ring of Fire, brought to you in part by Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. I said this a while ago. I'll say it again. I think Battlefield is going to be. It's going to be a telltale time for them, because if this game doesn't do well, for the amount of money they put into it, in the support, in the advertising, I think it's on life support. I know a lot of you Battlefield fans are like, that's bullshit. Such a like a community that sticks together. You sure do, but you don't, right? You sure do, but they don't grow. They don't grow. You at the best, you know what you do? You sustain. At the best, you sustain. You just stay where you are. And it's like, the thing about it is that, yes, Call of Duty's had years that they dropped, but then they have a year where they spike, and then they drop, then they spike again. And it's like, you need that up and down. It's that thing that keeps the stock market healthy.
Battlefield had that in a different, like, lower value way, because was it Bad Company, Spike, everybody loves those. And then with was it Hardline? Battlefield Hard, like, I didn't even touch that. I was like, nope, I don't like that. So obviously, I don't just play any Battlefield just because it's Battlefield. Right. I have to try it and like it. Like, there's a reason I tried the Battlefield 4 beta and the Battlefield 3 beta. I see if I like them before I buy them.
There was a Battlefield Pro that did a analysis on IGN, and I watched it, and he liked it, but he had a lot of problems with it. And
that's my video too.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like this is somebody. Listen, guys, if you don't like what Mooch is saying, that's fine. You guys are entitled to your opinion. But this is a guy who's dedicated to Battlefield. He plays hours and hours and hours a day. That's all he plays. It's his thing. He's like the guru on it. And he said he's just got a lot of problems with it. Everything from the quick death to he was saying that now air vehicles. Boy, they must have really listened to Mooch. Air vehicles do nothing. Like, if you're in an airplane, nothing. He's like, I did 3 laps around, and he goes, I couldn't kill anybody in 3 laps in a vehicle.
Crappy was waving at him.
Right? And, I mean, I just think it's myself personally. I just think it's one of those games that always tries to compete with Call of Duty. And realistically, one is like a war simulator, and one is more like an arcadey, war game. Mm-hmm. And the reason that Forza Horizon is taking over all of the racing franchises, including Forza Motorsport, is because people prefer that. We come home at night, not because we want to go home and drive in traffic. We drive in traffic for a living. We want to be able to play the Forza Horizons of the world. We want to be able to run over like signs and race friends and cut across fields, things you can't do in your car.
Tell that to people that buy VR to like make hot dogs at a hot
Exactly.
dog.
I was just gonna say, I don't want to go home and play Office Simulator. I mean, we work in an office. I don't need to do exactly. No, Salty makes a great point, and that's the thing. Like, people are like, boots on the ground. I want to feel like I was really there in so and so Austria. No, we don't. We don't. We want to it's cool.
You don't know
it looks
me.
good.
I want to drive a tank. How dare you?
Yeah, you just did for 2 years in Battlefield 1.
This is different, though.
No, I was riding the horse.
It's really different.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it was a horse. Yeah, she was on a horse. She was in a crop duster.
Same, but different.
But different, still the same.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think that at the end of the day, you will find that the Call of Duties and the arcadey fashion will win over gamers more as a whole. And I mean, again, it's my opinion, but I think, sometimes sales will show that as well. And that spike, shout out to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man goes, Destiny 2's on life support. It's not, it just got a 9.0 from IGN, and that Destin Legary's is more critical than Siskel and Ebert on a what do you call it? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes movie. I mean,
that movie did
brutal.
Suck though, so
it was terrible. But he hated the last 4 or 5 DLCs. This one here is really legit. This gets you back. And if you don't like the grind, that's fine. I'm not saying this game's for everybody. But right now you have the ups and downs, and that's good for anything in business. That spike is good. If you're in the stock market, that's a good thing. Yeah. So realistically, Destiny's on a high again. Guess what? Call of Duty, even with all the backlash and no single-player campaign, nobody's even talking about single-player campaign anymore. Now it's just Blackout Fever. And there's people being like, I got withdrawal. Shout out to So Shady, who's in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's here now, but but he's like, Mooch, I got withdrawals. You know, stop six stock. He's like, I need it. And it's like single player who? And, you know, here's Battlefield. We're giving you single player. We're giving you Ring of Fire made by Moochie Crap. And we're giving you all these other things. And people are like, who gives a shit? I'm playing Blackout. You know? So that's my take on it. Sorry.
Well, I'll be in the Battlefield. Me and the 10 people. I don't give a fuck.
I'll join you with Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man is rumored to be mooching it. If he does, I will be out there. I can't wait to die from 65 yards away from a guy with a sniper.
Hook me up, man. I'm just a simple guy trying to make it.
You're trying to make it?
I am. I'm trying to make it in the world, and I can't afford all these games, man.
You are really
X-Men. Keep your game. I don't want that trash.
Wow.
I had fun when I played the beta. That's all I can say.
Oh, that's because I was there. That's because I was there.
Hey, we won, and I made it on the little list with the teammates and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, best squad. That's right.
Yeah, the squad. We were squadding up and all that stuff. I hardly even got blown up by anything. You know. Okay. One time a plane kind of, and then we were like, "Hey, don't tell Mooch." You know,
they were shooting. They were shooting at us, but we
I got run over by a Winnebago.
Yeah.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell Mooch.
Don't tell Mooch.
Yeah. Hey, Modern Warfare 2 is number 8 on the NPD. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but people actually being able to play their old games is great too. I had a copy of the game, but I guess it was on sale as well. Not everybody keeps their games, right? A lot of people, when they upgrade, they'll sell off their games or whatever.
Yeah.
So some people obviously bought it, but this means that more developers are likely to allow Microsoft to make their games backwards compatible, because this is the first time where a game's made that. This is a 360 version here, making the top 10 in the NPD. That just goes to show you that people want to play, you know, some of these nostalgic games. Now, whether or not they stay on there for a long time, I don't know. I've played it quite a bit, and I think it's #fun. You know, I'm not going to be playing it probably next year or anything like that, but I will go back to it and mess around with it and play it. Like, Mooch, what are your thoughts on this, my friend?
Well, listen, as I thought I really, really well stated in the DMs before the show, you know, a lot of people are like, you know, hey, you know, it was just crap, actually. He's like, oh, how about that? Number 8 on the sales chart depth. Look at that. It's unbelievable.
Top 10, baby.
Yep. I go, and I use Fox as a reference. I'm like, here's a lot of people that go out, they'll buy it, and then they'll put it in their Smithsonian in their house, or they'll show off their thumb on Twitter and be like, look, we just showed up on Amazon, you know, and I just cut my cuticles. And it's like, all right, great. Good for you. So you're going to play Modern Warfare 2 for 15 to 20 minutes. You're going to snap a picture of your thumb holding it. Then you're going to snap a picture and put it on Twitter of you playing it. And then you're going to put that game next to Modern Warfare 3 and the other games you don't play anymore on your like your dusty shelf of your Smithsonian exhibit in your house of old games. Listen, I have no problem with you guys wanting to have it in your collection. I would say, guess what? If that thing's on Amazon and it's a good sale, buy it, because back compat is great. It's an option. We are in the generation of options.
Yeah.
I saw people today. It's a hot day in September in New York. People driving around with their windows down, their air conditioning on, eating an ice cream. That's what they're doing. Okay? You can do whatever you want in 2018. Because the minute you tell someone you look ridiculous, they're like, F yourself. I can do whatever I want. Didn't somebody throw you a calendar? 2018.
Yeah, especially in New York.
You got exactly. We're really loud here, by the way.
What's a hot day in September in New York? Just wondering.
What's a hot day? I think we broke like 82.
Oh shit, that's hot. No, a cold day in Arizona is like 100. You know what I'm saying?
It's not my fault you moved to the sun. Nobody. We all knew that was like literally like Arizona should have been called Mercury.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know what happened over there. You guys are like, I love this shit. I can only go outside between 6 and 10 and 7:30 at night to midnight.
Special suits on when we go outside.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You guys look like Michael J. Fox when he woke his dad up back in 1955. You guys are walking around in those suits.
Cooking eggs on the pavement.
Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. Arizona is great because, to be honest with you, you guys don't even, if you say shovel out there, you're like, what? Like, there's no idea what a shovel is. You're just great. Shoveling sucks.
Cardinals. They got dry heat. Yeah, they got a dry heat though, right?
Yeah,
like that's the good part, right? It's not like you're getting breathed on by like 20 Labradors when you go out the door, like here in Florida, right? Like literally, you go out the door and it's like man, where these dogs must be like panting on you, like right in your face. That's what it feels like. Fox, isn't that right? When you walk out the door in Florida,
it's like an oven outside. It's crazy.
It is, and if you got hair, it'll like get all frizzy and like puffy and stuff. Yeah, it's not fun, man. When I used to have like a pompadour type do, you know, used to get like real like it was.
I like how you said if you have hair. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, well, I shave my head now, but like because it just gets so bad here.
Yeah,
you know, like
but isn't that worse? Shaving your head?
No,
and the sweat just pours right down in your face like a shower head.
I guess, man. You just gotta like. I'll wear a hat, baseball hat sometimes or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
well, you know, it would sound better if Jeff Goldblum was saying it, but you know, hair has a purpose. Okay, thank you.
I guess it does, but I mean, yeah. Well, it's a long story why I shaved my head, but yeah. So it's like, you know, for me personally. Like the dry heat is one thing, but when you get into that like real bad heat, it's a complete different thing. So, but
humidity will kill you.
Exactly. Salty, what do you make about this? Modern Warfare 2, number 8, rack 'em up.
Hey, it's good.
Woo!
I'm digging it. Yeah, go team.
Go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, that was weird. Okay. I think it's interesting because, well, everybody was going digital from what I know, and isn't MPD physical games? So I thought that was kind of interesting.
But I'm not sure if they do. They might count some digital now as well. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay, because I know it was on sale in the Xbox.
$15, like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was on sale at the time. A lot of people scooped it up. I know GameStop kind of ran out of copies because I was over there looking for
$30 or something. It was ridiculous.
Not the first day. The second and the third, that's when they put the prices up.
Yeah, dude, it was like you go in there, it's like here's the Xbox 360 version, it's $39.99. Well, where's the PS3 version? Oh, it's in the 99-cent bin. Yeah,
it was like $6 or something for the PS3.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy
because you can't play. You need to play it on PS3, and nobody's playing on PS3. Come on, it's ridiculous, absolutely, utterly ridiculous. But yeah,
I'm surprised that my friend, she came out of nowhere and she's like, "Oh, I'm on Xbox again. You want to play?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like she came out of the woodwork. So that's kind of crazy. I'm happy because the game was awesome, nostalgic. It had some great maps and some of my favorite weapons. So obviously we all played it for a while and we moved on. So it's there. It's
funny when you mention your friend Fox. I always picture that Homer gif where she like came out and played, and then she went back into the ferns and the woods and disappeared again.
Basically, that's what happened.
Well, don't get me wrong. She was like, "Hey, that was really great. I remember those memories. So if you want to do something new, here's my number. Otherwise, don't."
I played it.
She loves that game. No, that's why she came back because she loves that game so much. And then she played a couple matches with me on Battlefield, and then she disappeared. But it was, I mean, it is what it is. It's Call of Duty. It's one of the most requested Call of Duty games. And I'm glad that we have the choice to play all of them on Xbox.
Yeah, like finally, you know, and hey, good for them. Plus, it makes other developers, like I said, they're like, hey, we can make money off this. Let's go ahead and allow them to do that. And I think it's cool. It's a real testament of Microsoft to really be able to do that. And I think that's vitally important going forward as well. Let's see, what do we got here? We've also got this was interesting. A developer, Mooch, you're gonna love this or hate this. Developer says the Xbox Scarlet and PS5 won't play all games at 4K 60. Expect quite a few 30 frames per second depending on the game. He specifically mentioned open world games, and I know this is gonna bum you out a bit because you were like all in thinking everything's gonna be 4K 60. And from so far, a lot of the developers that we're hearing from are saying, you know what? It's not really going to be that way. There's not going to be this big leap like people are expecting.
Right.
You know, like if you got an X, man, I got to think that leap from the regular Xbox One is probably what I would expect, you know?
You know, I'll tell you something, and I know every time I say this crap, you can hear crap like a deep sigh in the back. But he did it himself, so he can't yell at me. Hellhammer's done it. And I've just recently, because listen, and we'll get into this on MNC and stuff, but like I've had this iMac for a while, and I'm looking at what I paid for the iMac. A lot of times with Apple, you guys, all you Apple haters out there, even though I love Apple, you do pay sometimes for the aesthetics. And when I paid for the iMac, I can actually get a great gaming PC for basically the same price, and the iMac can only play like nothing. So I was like, you know what, I'm going PC.
Thanks, Apple.
Hey, listen, don't Crap, let's not go there. This show's gonna be another hour.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. I'm just saying.
Let's not do that.
Because I got a lot of Apple news.
Mooch for its crap.
Shout out to my co-host on Another Life, Justine, who's doing great Apple coverage recently, by the way. She's doing fantastic coverage.
Yo, that girl loves Apple. Like, anyway,
she really does.
Is that her girl? Like, more than you.
If you didn't like iPhones before, just check out Justine's channel. You'll have like 8 of them ordered by Friday. Listen,
is that her job?
When you go pick up your Apple products, do you put a beanie on and then go to Starbucks and
I'm in New York and I bought the first one. All right, Salty. So I take offense to that. And there's no beanies in New York.
You pay for the name.
Hey, Greg E3.
You get hit for that over here. They still hit in New York. Okay.
Hey guys, Greg E3 in the chat says, "Hey crap, I was getting your rack 'em up wrong." He says, "I was whacking them up."
What?
Pretty funny and uncalled for.
Yes.
But
I asked Fox. I was like, "Does she work for Apple? Is that her job?" Because me and Mooch are kind of like mystified at actually what her job is.
Nobody knows. What she does is she smiles and she gets her nails done and she's
Nah. Give her more credit than that. She's a tech reviewer. She's a lifestyle vlogger. Like, she's like very successful.
Foxy,
for, like,
I've watched all of her videos. She does great work.
Somebody has a crush.
I think she does great work. Listen, I got this. Anybody with 7 million or 7, 6, 10 million viewer or million subs, you gotta admire them.
Yeah,
they do great work.
She's really smart.
Obviously, team. The reason I was arguing with you is she has a team now. Like, she doesn't do all that herself. She's got like. Her family helps her. She's got friends.
She pays people to edit all her videos, but she's really clever when it comes to all this tech stuff and gaming and the phones and the computers. Like, she knows what she's talking about. So I give her mad credit. But I mean, she does like Apple too much, so I can't vibe with her that way. But she loves Apple so much. She took a picture, like a prom picture, with her iMac back in the day. I was like, what? That's crazy.
Mooch is a big fan, but that wasn't Crap's first question. Getting back to the show, is to be honest with you, the answer to that, because I listened to your video, Crap, and you know the thing with that developer is he's not wrong.
Hey, the Don said this too. We've had him
he did
mention that before. So
you know, I think pardon me. There's 2 ways to look at this. What do gamers want? I think gamers want to see the natural progression of the consoles, and the natural progression. Now that the X's hit the 4K. Is they want to see 60 frames. But as the Don said, and as the developer said from your video, there's other resources and stuff they have to take into consideration. So realistically speaking, Crap, they're not necessarily always going to, and let's be honest, I'm looking at some of the stuff that's the high-tech cards and the CPUs and things that are going into these builds, and you're talking about like a tremendous amount of money that goes into a PC build to hit a 4K 60 lock.
Yeah.
So realistically speaking, I think we're going to see more of the 1440p 60 option or a lot more of the 4K 30 or 1080p, like with better settings. So right now you have 1080p 60 coming out, like, and there's a noticeable difference in textures and everything else, right, Crap?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed that with Forza. I haven't played it yet.
Okay, but, like I will mention this real quick, right? Like, so like with a racing game, I like 60 frames. It's such a drastic drop off though from 1080p from 4K, right? So I just got to keep it real. Like if that was 1440p 60, I'd probably play it at that. But I got to be honest, when I've been running the demo, I've been running at 4K 30. It's a lock 30, and you know, just it's a huge jump or downgrade in quality of the pictures, going from native 4K to 1080p. It is.
Yeah.
All right.
Salt.
So this was one of my main points that I brought up with the next generation and why I think there's gonna be a major issue trying to sell people on the next gen, because it's not going to be a major jump. I was saying this on my channel. When we went from standard def to high def, it was kind of like people saw it, right? It doesn't take an expert to say, hey, look at this TV, look at that TV. You could definitely tell a jump there. 4K, people are kind of coming around on that, but this whole 60 frames a second situation, a lot of people don't even know what the hell that is. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to sell the common person, like the casual gamer on frame rate. They don't know what that is. They don't know what hertz on their TV is. they barely understand. They probably don't even understand what 4K is. Okay. So then you're trying to say, hey, you want a game at this is going to offer you more games at 60 frames. They're going to be like, what? What is that? Like, why? Like, why should I care? If you're a hardcore gamer and you've seen the difference, I've still had arguments with people over frame rate and stuff like that. So if you're trying to tell me that not every game's going to be 60 frames per second, well, what is the reasoning why I'm going to jump from the X to the Scarlet day one? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that much incentive to me. I know there will be other things going on and stuff like that, like the amount of assets you can put in there and all that other stuff.
And here's the thing: Microsoft kind of promoted this, and I mean, crap may or may not. I don't know. It depends on how he feels, but I'm sure he has a PC that can handle 60 frames. And
yeah, I could probably do 720p at 60 frames, something like that. On you know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure you could do 1080p.
Yeah, I probably could.
Yes,
I probably could.
You could.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, that's the thing. And I agree with Salt. That's the thing I want to see here. There's supposed to be a decent leap next generation, but to have a $400 or $500 price tag on these machines, even at the mass quantities they're buying these parts, and say it's going to be 4K 60. Now I mean, only because I'm looking at what the greatest of the great you can buy is in PC, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, those numbers are astronomical. Even if they were able to buy in mass quantity, there's no way they're going to have to get that. There's no way that they'll be able to get that performance at $500. That's going to be hard. Now, I will say this much. If they're doing 1080p right now, 60, I can tell you right now, next generation is definitely going to have a 1080p 60, probably on high settings, and it's going to look great. But the problem is that we're in a world where you have to exceed 1080p these days for especially a lot, even the casual gamers, even talking. Yeah,
I got to be honest. Like, and it sounds bad, but I'm a 4K snob, man. I like playing my 4K HDR. To be honest with you, like there was a couple times, right? Like the way my TV is, for some reason, I don't know why, but sometimes if something happens, like the power goes out or whatever for a second, or and it comes and I go to play the game, and sometimes I was like, why does this look different? Oh, that's because for some reason the HDR isn't on right now, so I have to turn on the HDR, restart the game, because I am a 4K HDR snob, and that's just I know that's totally a me problem, but
crap, it's not that you're a snob at all, to be honest with you. Here's the fact of the matter, and I know, again, to go back to the Apple reference, Apple's one of the first phones to put that Retina display on there. It was the first time it went from blurry text to like crisp. It was like you were looking at a book that was just printed in front of you. And that's something that then your eyes become accustomed to it. We don't talk about it anymore. Now we're like, yeah, so what? That's the way it is. It's the way it is. I mean, realistically, you know what I did? It's fun. You go back and you show your kids or whatever, like what our old TV sets were like back in the 90s. And they're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, our eyes fixate, and then that's what it is. So crap, it's not that you're a snob by no means. It's that you have that. Your eyes have now fixated to that look, and it's hard to go back to that. You know? It's kind of like why in the 70s people were wearing socks up to their knees, and now we're like, that's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I mean, wow, my ass ankle socks fell through the freaking roof. I mean, it is what it is, right? We get our eyes fixed on something, and then it is what it is, and that becomes a new custom and what we're used to. So right now, 4K is the standard. Well, excuse me, standard in speaking. I would say that I would be, okay, now being a little bit more realistic, if games were 4K 30 or 1440p 60, that would be a huge benefit and promotion to us console gamers. I think that would be massive for next generation. I hope that happens. Realistically, it could be 1080p with a lot better settings crap at 60 or 4K 30 like we're having. But Salty made the best point in the fact that if you're only offering 1080p 60, 4K 30 next generation, it's going to be really hard to get an Xbox One X owner to move forward when they already have that box in their home.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I agree 100% with that. What do you think, Fox?
I like 60. I like how buttery smooth the games are, and I would like to see my future games, and obviously in my consoles, all have that. But I understand if not all of them can do it. If they kind of switch it up and they want the resources to go somewhere else, I understand that. But when people mention stuff about PC stuff, just remember that not all PCs are doing that. The majority are playing just the way that console gamers are playing 1080, 30, or something like that. And most of the streamers I do watch have PCs, and it's just regular settings. It's rare for me to even see all those ultra stuff unless I'm out there looking for it. So it's just exaggerated sometimes because it's not needed. But I do like having 60 on my console. I can see the difference, so it's really nice.
Yeah,
and I would like that on all my games. Like I said, I can't wait for Forza.
yeah. Well, Forza is very exciting. You know, I'm super
driving
excited.
in 60, you can totally feel that.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it at 60 and I liked it. I thought it was good, but it's a huge downgrade. I know you don't have a 4K TV yet, but
no, Tim was telling me about how in 4K he likes playing in 4K because he can see all the trees and the leaves, and I was like, Tim, I'm driving. I don't care about that shit. I'm like, I'm not gonna stop and look at the trees. Now, if I'm taking pictures and stuff, of course, that's beautiful.
I can't speak to Forza. I haven't tried it yet, but the other games that give the 60 frame option or close is a major graphical downgrade from the 4K. I gotta say, like, I will try both with Forza Horizon 4, but I'm right now, without trying both, I'm leaning towards 4K 30.
Yeah. I would say try both. I thought the 60 was really great.
Yeah.
But then when I played at the 1080p, it felt like early generation. It looked like an earlier generation Xbox One game to me.
And that bugs me a bit, you know, and that's one of the things. Like, I was actually talking to a couple of the guys that I was talking to when I was building the PC and getting the parts. They said, you know, you're really going to want to try Forza Horizon 4 on your PC. So crap, you should try that on your PC just to see what the hell you can do with it, because you got it anyways.
I'm not installing any games on my PC. Never.
Oh, you're not putting any?
No, there's no games on this PC.
I was gonna say, because someone told me that you should at least try it.
Nah.
What?
Well,
No,
it's free.
I don't believe you.
Hey, I'll knock it before I try it.
That's right.
That's not, yeah,
I might try that game. I might try that one game because people say Forza is like insane on the PC because you can do 4K 60. Now, I don't know. How the hell do I know? I have an iMac. The only thing I can do on this thing is play like Minesweeper and like a Steve Jobs game from 1985. But like, there's nothing I can do on this thing. But like, nonetheless, I think that realistically, it's Microsoft's one of their babies, crap. So it's worth a shot.
I can't believe you, Crappy. You don't even have Solitaire? Oh my god.
No. Well, hold on. That might be installed.
That came with it.
Yeah,
you can't erase it.
There it is.
Yeah, I don't. But I've never booted. I just don't care. It's like, you know, Killer Instinct. I own a ton of games that are.
Oh yeah, I'm not. No. Oh my god, no.
I just don't give a crap. You know what I mean? Like those.
Who wants to punch a controller in front of a desk?
Exactly. Exactly. So, hey, Nintendo Switch. We'll slow things down a little bit. Nintendo Switch won the NPD. They also announced a Fortnite bundle. They also launched their online service, which also has a once a week check-in. Ooh, guys.
Ooh.
Come on, wait, that's a bad. Why isn't people riding? Come on. Yeah,
your phone has a once a second check-in, by the way. But go ahead, Crab.
But their online service lets you get access to 20 games. I thought that's pretty cool.
20 free games?
You get to play those games. You have access to those games, I guess. That's how it works, right?
If you have memory. I don't know about all that.
So Nintendo confirmed that who subscribe to the Nintendo Switch Online Network will be able to play NES Classic games on their console. It was originally revealed that most games will come with new online features, and today they learned that the enhancements don't stop there, that the Switch will have newer features, including save states, HD resolution, and filters. How
much is it, Crap?
Their online is $20 for the year.
Or how do you argue with that?
Yeah, or it's $34 for a family plan or whatever.
Yeah, if you have more than one. I mean, I think the big deal, Crap, and I'm pretty sure you did a video on it. I think that, you know, Microsoft's got to come to terms at this point. You know, they're sitting here and they're lighting all these candles. You know, I think they've reached Missouri by this point.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to make their way to the East Coast. I don't think they're able to make it, but you know, I think that they gotta get rid of if it's a free to play game.
Yep.
They've got to let people play for free. They have to.
100%.
Right? You can't sit here and this is not about taking anybody's side, but Microsoft's the one out here beating the drum, saying, you know, you got Mike Ibarra coming out being like, "How dare you not give crossplay? Now give me $60
I did a video
to play
about
a free game."
I'm like, Microsoft won't even respond to people that bring that up, right? Like you bring up, hey, you guys are all touting crossplay, cross progression, no walls.
Yeah.
Right? Like I remember going at
except this wall
with that, right?
Except this one.
Like, yeah, it's like, hey, we want gamers to play together, no walls. And I'm like, Phil, but you charge us to play online and nobody else. Hell, even Switch players can play Fortnite for free. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I always thought that was a little bit ridiculous. And now they're like, I'm all for the whole idea of you know, of doing that, offering that as an option, quote unquote. But the fact that Microsoft is like, hey, we're going to charge you Xbox Live to play the free-to-play games when nobody else does, even Nintendo, that's starting to look a little bad on them.
Yep. A little bad. It looks really bad, in my opinion. See, here's the deal. Like, people that want to give us shit all the time. The Sony fanboys say that we have these blinders on, that we're fanboys for Xbox. But why are we calling them out on this stuff? It's about being a gamer and wanting pro-consumer aspects.
Right.
So when we're calling this shit out, you guys take notice, record this shit, put that down in your notebook, because we want these features as gamers. You know, when Xbox does something stupid like this, it's just clear as day. If it's a free to play game, let people play it. Like Nintendo's doing it. They had their online service that they started. They said, hey, if you have Fortnite, you could play it. You know, like PlayStation does it. So like when we're coming out here and saying this shit, it's because we're gamers. It's not, you know, we're not, you know, praying to a brand or a console or whatever. So it is what it is.
Exactly.
No, that's a good point. You know, they're the ones that are like, well, if you're on your iOS device, your Android device, or you're on PC, or you're on Xbox, or you're on Nintendo, you can all play in harmony. And it's like, well, no, not true. Like, we can only play in harmony if we pay the $60. And I know that, listen, now with Nintendo coming on with their online service and Sony going from free to paying, and Xbox always been paying, the argument of us getting free online is pretty much dead. We knew it was dead. It's always been dead. But it is bullshit. It is bullshit because, you know, the games that they give us, especially Xbox, they're comical at best. I mean, I know once every 4 months we get a game that we're like, yay. And then it's like, you know, we got For Honor. I downloaded For Honor because it's a AAA game. I'm not playing For Honor, and most of you aren't either. And, you know, the thing about it is that, like, and that was the best game we've had pretty much in a long time that we can remember. So don't give me the whole, well, we get free game shit. You're not getting free anything. You paid for that too. You know, the whole thing, you are crap. The whole $60 is the whole $60 is bubble.
I know. Yeah.
Well, it's not their bubble. It's all their bubbles.
Yeah, I agree.
And, you know, I mean, it is ridiculous. And the fact that, you know, that's why I'm like, you know what? Look, fine. Crap. You made a good point. You know, you said it to me a long time ago. It is what it is, Mooch. They're not going to give up $3 billion. And you're right. They're not. No business is giving up that money. So that's a waste of time. But then when we bring up this subject and you have a free-to-play game, listen, dude, you're already making $3 billion. Let the people play Fortnite for a free game that you've been promoting. You can play on all these devices, including 2 of your own, being Windows and Xbox. Let them play for free. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit perturbed. Okay, so all you guys that are like big Microsoft fans out there that are lighting candles with them, okay, you're literally holding Aaron's hand while he's lighting a candle, okay? You should be really pissed off right now and be like, listen, guys, you know what? You guys want to be kumbaya? You guys are all going to work in one rowboat? That's fine. But, like, you got to let this game go for free, crap. I mean, there's no way. This is complete hypocrisy on Microsoft's part. So until they do that, I think people should keep a flame under their ass. And just to be fair, on the other side, Sony should let crossplay become, you know, fair play as well on their console. I think both teams still right now. If Microsoft goes free to play on these free games, guess what? They're pretty much all in the clear.
Yeah,
they're doing pretty, except for the $60 a year, but they're all doing that now.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a huge PR win for Xbox if they came out and said, "Hey, all of a sudden, boom! You know, we're getting on board here." I think it'd be great news for a lot of people.
Agreed.
I think it'd bring a lot of people over too. So I don't know.
Yeah,
spot on, Salt.
I can't disagree there. I think you guys are right. Fox, what do you think about all this shenanigans?
You guys are on point. I agree.
Thanks,
Microsoft,
Fox.
fuck it up.
That reminded me of the time crap about somebody on Xbox Nation who's like, you know, I'll give you a chance. And we all went around this like large circle. Of course, I probably like took 25 minutes up, but and then he's like, so and so, what do you think? And he's like, I think you all nailed it. And he's like, I'm glad I brought you on.
That was that one.
Hey,
I forget his name.
I can't remember
don't
his
mess
name.
with me. Don't mess with me. I don't want to talk about Fortnite. I chime in a lot. God damn it.
I know. No, you do actually.
You do.
The Forza Horizon 4 demo. I played through this thing about 6 times. I think it's great. Mooch, you're not going to miss anything by playing through it because there's little like, it's just like little bits and pieces.
It's not the beginning race, like the intro.
Well, It is the intro, but it's like it shows you real quick the 4 seasons. It's over within like that part's over.
I got a question. I thought Forza Horizon 2 had the best intro music, period, in the franchise. Does the intro music beat Forza Horizon 2's? Like the music when you're driving, that first race, or wherever the hell you're going, the first destination run.
It's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would beat it though.
I don't know.
You guys know what I mean? Like 2 was like riveting. It was amazing music.
You're talking about just the intro or like all the like radio stations?
No, just the intro.
Oh, then no. I mean, I think they're good songs, but it's not like for me. I like 1. Like 1 and 2 had the best music for the intro.
Great music.
Yeah, I like 2 as well, but I don't think that this one like stood out to me. I don't know. Maybe I was just paying attention to the 60 frames too much or the cars.
People are in the chat saying it's up there, so that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Listen, I understand it may not be the same, can't hold the same standard as long as it's equivalent. You know,
that music's thumping, dude. It's
love it. Dude, I
man.
blast the tunes when I put the first hour or 2 hours of Forza for me is always very memorable. It's a lot of fun, man. Yeah. It's just the graphics hit again. It's your eyes fixating. Like the first time you saw Retina display, it's your eyes fixating on what Playground Games gave you again, and it still trumped the last game. You know what I mean? And it's like that first 2 hours. And I'm not a Forza fan. I never, I don't wear that hat. That's not my thing. It's not my bag.
It's not my bag,
baby.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody, Christopher Walken in here, but like I think realistically. I think that the game and the music itself are what put that intro is just, it's usually breathtaking. It's amazing.
Yeah, it should be. It's a festival. Like that's why it's there. It's supposed to stand out to you.
You know, Greg E3 says, I think you mean 3. No, Greg, I mean 2. Like 3 was okay, but 2 was like unbelievable.
I think it's the whole package, the visuals, the music, the way that you get in the car from the outside, you get in the car, it starts going. They just do that right. The thing that killed the beta for me, and I think they did this on purpose, is I would play it and I was getting hyped and then I turned it off and then you have to restart it, go through the whole intro. Restart it, go through the whole intro. I did that like 4 times. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. Well,
you guys are crazy. I did it twice and I was like, well, I already know this is basically the beginning of the game, so I'll wait until it comes out. I did it twice though. And I was like, no, I'm good. I get the gist of it. I like what I'm seeing. I can't wait to play it. I'm probably going to pick it up sooner than what I think because obviously I'm going to play it in Game Pass, but I'm probably going to buy it outright eventually because I'm not going to keep Game Pass forever.
Yeah. Like I'm the same way. I got Game Pass gifted to me, and then
I actually put a couple of feelers out. I got a couple people working on a code for Forza because I'll be honest with you, I'm with Foxy on that. That's another we'll talk about that on Crossfire. Actually,
I've heard about your feelers out there for.
I've got a few out there, buddy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alan. Obviously he was doing
Beetle.
Yeah, he was doing your show, and I was just like, he was selling everything about Forza. I was just like, okay, I'm already excited about the game, but calm down, dude.
Well, I mean, realistically, but you made a good point a second ago. Where like at this point, I mean, I don't know if I'm keeping Game Pass after where I don't because. The problem is like you take a game like, people are like, well, just wait till Gears comes out. And I'm sure the casuals are going to dig it. And I'm sure Game Pass is going to do fine. I really do. But for us hardcore and anybody that's listening to this show, like I want to own Gears 5, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like I want to own it. Period. I don't really have much more to say on that. I think you guys will understand. I think it speaks for itself. So if I want to own Gears 5 and I want to own Halo Infinite and I want to own Forza, which is the 3 big boys, and then you're going to add a couple more of those big studios and they have great games and I want to own those, what the hell am I paying $10 a month for? Like I don't need the other games because the other games that I would want to play in there, I also already own. So I don't know. For me personally, as it stands, it still never was for me, but it is what it is. It's great for the casual. I think if you're going out there on a budget, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's kind of the way to look at it. I'm surprised that I have not.
I know. I'm pissed
because I was not paying attention, and here we are, rolled all up on the 10 o'clock, the bewitching hour. We're turning into.
I know. Well, I'm sending it right now.
Yes. So So with that being said, Mooch, what do you got going on this week? We got some stuff tomorrow, I know.
Yeah, we got M&C's on my channel tomorrow, I believe, Crap. And,
yeah, M&C's on Mooch's channel. Big changes there. We're going to be talking about it. You guys want to tune in for some announcements and stuff like that.
Yes, please do catch up on what's going on. A lot of changes. Things are going on. We'll let you know what's happening. And then we have Crossfire, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's great song. I'm gonna have to retape that, but I'll tell you right now, that is gonna be a lot of fun. We got a great guest coming on, and to be honest with you, don't miss it. The Mooch78 YouTube. Hit the like button here. Also subscribe to my channel. A lot of content coming in October. You don't want to miss it.
Exactly.
Great promotion. Also, he did like 4 shows. He's going to do like 4 shows this week.
I already told him that. I was like, dude, you're doing 4 shows in a row.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. I did RDX. I got Xbox Nation, M&C, and Crossfire. Please, anybody who has a Saturday podcast, I need a break.
He's like, don't invite me.
Please.
Salty, what do you got going on?
Hey, we have the Saltiest Gaming Podcast tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, immediately following you guys' show. And then also on Friday, I'm gonna be doing Gaming News Daily with Saltiest Gaming. It's a new thing I'm doing. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's a quick 30-minute segment. I just go over all things gaming. It's like the stuff that you wouldn't normally cover on a show like this. So yeah, check it out.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
Yep.
Foxy, what do you got going on?
Sherry Foxy Deals on Twitter, so follow me on there. I was posting some earlier, so I gotta finish posting some more tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, if you guys want to save up some games, obviously we know we're getting awesome games right now, but if you want to get some discounted games or hard drives or anything else like that, just check out my Twitter and check out my YouTube channel. I share my thoughts on almost all things gaming whenever I have a chance, and I go like really in depth. The last video was Battlefield related, so even if I am a fan of Battlefield, there are some truth bombs in there, so check it out. Let me know what you guys think.
Absolutely. I listened. It's very interesting stuff. Always good hearing your opinion on that stuff. Yeah, we ran out of time today, unfortunately, guys. I did actually wanted to talk about Microsoft keeps announcing these consoles that are custom and not giving us a chance to buy them, which doesn't make much sense. So we'll save that for next time, or I'm sure maybe M&C or whatever. But we'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys for joining us. Hit that like button. We are very close to 300. Imagine that Xbox Nation that finishes with 300 likes. I say we make that a reality, and we stay on the air until we get 300 likes.
Just do it. Just do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, 300 likes. But realistically, though, Mooch is like probably dying to go get a pizza or something. I don't know, drink some wine. So
yeah,
we're gonna take off.
Play Destiny. Let's go.
Hand in hand, Destiny, baby. Let's do it.
Exactly. So we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. Have fun. Have a good time with each other. Gaming. Rack 'em up. Peace.
Bye.